Hello, I'm Savannah Castle. Today we're going to be talking about what if Jay's parents never gave him up for adoption. And I think no one talks about this theory is because it's very hard to make a theory like this because we know nothing about his parents. But I'm going to try to do my best to dissect what I think would have happened if they never gave him up for adoption. The first thing we gotta talk about is Jay's parents. Would they be together? I don't think so. I think they would definitely be divorced because isn't it weird in Skybound when we learned he was adopted? We're like, oh cool, he was adopted. And then we go and figure out his father's Cliff Gordon and Jay goes to his room and Cliff Gordon's been stalking his son. He knew who his son was. And I always found it weird, like, hey, why did he communicate with him? It felt like as if it was like, you can have no contact with my child sort of vibe. So yeah, I think in the main series they definitely did get divorced and I have no proof that they did, but it always felt like this. So yeah, in this series they got divorced. Why they got divorced? Maybe Cliff Gordon was like too immature and his mother realized it and realized like, hey, you can't, like, I'm a ninja and my job's too safe, you're too immature to raise this kid. And maybe he was secretly having an affair, so that just pushed her over the edge. So she gave him up to like the nearest people that she knew, which was Ed and Edna. Now speaking of Ed and Edna, if Jay's parents never gave him up to adoption, I think Ed and Edna would be like grandparents or godparents or very close to his family, because we gotta remember that his mother gave him up to those people, so she definitely knew them somehow. So yeah, I'd like to believe they still have a very important factor to Jay's life. Now, the biggest question is, why would Jay want to be a ninja? What would be his reasoning? Well, as we know in like divorced people, usually one of the child is just like closest to one of the parents. And I think Jay would be a lot closer to his father because we see in Devil Seasons, Jay is a lot like his father. He's becoming a movie star, he's like a famous pop star. So yeah, he would bond a lot closer to his father. And for his mother, I think she would be very distant. Even with it out in elemental power, she would still like be a ninja and go off and fight. So when Wu gives him the option to be a ninja, he's like, finally, I can finally like relate to my mom, even though she told me a million times how dangerous her ninja job has been in her life, but he would still do that to be a lot closer to his mother. Now season 1, there's gonna be a lot of changes in season 1 because Full Potential, his dynamic with Nia, his like whole thing with his grandparents. Now Jay will definitely have to go by a different name because he's trying to not like associate with his parents or let his parents figure out. So he would not go by Gordon or his mother's name. He would definitely have to go by his grandparents' name, Walker. So he would still be Jay Walker. And his grandparents would have a very big impact because like I feel like Jay would be like, hey, you guys gotta lie, help me lie and say that you guys are my parents. So he would definitely be a lot nicer when they come by to the ship and pretend to be his parents, and he wouldn't try to shoot them. They would still be around a lot more. They would still be bitten by a snake somehow, and Lloyd would have a lot easier time breaking into the junkyard and stealing vehicles, so that would be a much bigger problem, but I feel like the ninjas would still able to figure it out. And now we do know that he has a crush on Nia. I feel like he would still fail at wooing Nia because like he definitely has that book of How to Woo Women written by his father, and I feel like the ninjas would embarrass him for having this book, and I feel like maybe Nia would feel uncomfortable about that book, and she would like probably talk to Jay, and Jay would definitely apologize, be like, oh, I was just trying to flirt with you, I have no clue of how to flirt. So yeah, I think they would have like a much sweeter relationship than it just being Jay being creepy. It would just be like him not understanding how to flirt with people. And also we gotta talk about his secret identity, because yeah, he still has a secret identity. I think he would wear the ninja mask when he goes into town, a lot like how, you know, like Spiderman does when he goes to town, or when he eats something or talks to someone, he like lifts up to his mask to his nose. I think Jay would do that, and the ninjas would question it, but Jay would be like, oh, I'm just trying to do the Spider-Man thing. I thought like secret identities would be a lot cooler. And the ninjas would look at him a little bit weirdly, but I don't think they would like question him at all about it. Full Potential, where we're just practically copying and pasting Cole's episode but making it a Jay episode, so Cole's episode's gotta be 1,000% different. So anyway, Jay's full potential storyline. Jay realized, hey, I know where that fang blade is, and he says it's a prop for his father's movie set. And the ninja's confused. They're like, oh, Ed used to be a movie star? He's like, no, my actual father. And he tells them it's Cliff Gordon. The ninjas are like, why you not tell us that your father's Cliff Gordon? He's like the most famous person that we know. And Jay talks about how he wants nothing to do with his parents, to try to dissociate himself with his parents and find out who he is. Now, he has not told either of his parents that he's a ninja, so like try to keep it under wraps, to say he's hanging out with his grandparents and they're just like friends that he randomly made. So they go to his parents' house and they figure out that his mother and his father are fighting, and Jay comes in like, oh, Mom, what are you doing here? Little like strange that you usually hear. And his mother's mad and like, you won't believe what happened. And his father's like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just like one date. And Jay's like, oh, you found a new woman? And he's like, no, I found a goal for you today. Jay says nothing after his father said that. He doesn't even introduce Nia. He just stays quiet because he has no idea what the hell is going on. And the new girl who's supposed to be the person that's dating Jay just stays silent. She doesn't want to be here as much as Jay does not want to be there. So they're like pushed into like a room, like television set, being like, oh, the new hottest couple is Jay and this random weird girl. I don't know what her name will be. We're gonna call her Emily. Poor Emily. Anyway, Nia just kind of just stands there, kind of shocked. And Jay like tries to tell his father like, oh, I'm dating Nia. And he looks at Nia disgusted. It's like, you're dating her? You could do a lot better. Like, come on, does she have any attributes? And he figures out her last name and like Googles her, and he's like, she's poor, she's broke, she has no attributes besides being a blacksmith. I don't want you going to date a blacksmith. You should date a tall, pretty girl who comes from somewhat of a rich family who will do anything for you and have wonderful children. And Jay's like, but I love her, I like her. And Jay's father's like, yeah, and I loved your mother. Look how that turned out to be. So yeah, they get in an argument, and Cliff Gordon's lays it on thing like, you will date this girl or you will be disowned. And he tries to talk to his mother about it, and his mother's like, I'm trying my best. I will try to like talk to him. Like, even if he disowns me, you will always have a home with me. And once she was away, like, yeah, a home. Like, you're ever around. So he goes off, and he's like trying to figure out everything, because like the girl his father paired him up is like the sweetest thing. So he's like trying to be nice to her. He's like, I don't want to break your heart. Like, you're nice and pretty and all, but you're not Nia. And I feel like he would definitely tell her that. And she's like, yeah, I got it. I don't want to be here as much as you do. And then we go to the late night show where they're like trying to announce the perfect couple. And I feel like Jay is just like sitting there like thinking about hardcore, like what is going on. And I think the serpentine is the point where they attack the group. And by the way, I'm so sorry, the story makes no sense. I'm trying to like wrap my head around how to do Dre's full potential with his parents around, and it's the most awkward thing. So yeah, the serpentine attacks his family. The ninja friends do spin to realize there is ninjas. Jay does spinjitzu, saves his family. His mother's 100% pissed. His father's goddamn confused, like, you're a ninja? And Jay's like, yeah, I'm a ninja. By the way, I'm sorry we had to go, but I have no interests. I know we talked about that. I have no interests. I like Nia again. And also, I'm completely fine if you disown me. I'm gonna go be a ninja float with Nia. I want to be my own person. So he goes, tries to get the thing blade, and fails. This is where his father realizes, like, yeah, maybe I was too harsh. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. And his mother's still not impressed and still grounds him. Now, Cole's full potential is probably Jay's full potential, so, like, I feel like that would be boring. So, I don't know what the writers would do for Cole's full potential. Like, maybe they would do something similar, because that's kind of like the same storyline Jay has. But I feel like Cole would be a lot better at telling his father right away that he's not a ninja. Like, maybe that would be like the beginning of the thing, because guess what, he just watched Jay go through the same struggle, so it would make no really sense that Cole would try to hide from his father that he's a ninja. So they would have to do something completely different with Cole's storyline. And I don't know what type of storyline that is, nor am I gonna think about one. So yeah, if anyone else wants to do that storyline, please do it and like tag me and send it to me. I will put it in this goddamn video. Now, we do know the prophecy of the Green Ninja. I don't know if Jay would be obsessed with this, because like that was like all the ninja obsession, to be someone important. But Jay's kind of always been someone important. So I don't know if the Green Ninja prophecy would connect to them. I feel like he would definitely distance himself, trying not to be the Green Ninja. He's like, no thank you, you guys can have these bets and stuff, I'll help you train, but I don't really want to be the Green Ninja. Now, for the Great Devour, I don't think really much would change, besides maybe Jay's mother trying to help, like, introduce herself into the fight and asking if she can help. And maybe she does help, or maybe she gets eaten. I honestly have no idea, but it would probably remain the same. They give the weapons up to Garmadon. Garmadon kills a snake. Snake explodes. The Destiny Bounty is destroyed. On to season 2. Now, on to season 2. I'm not going to do all the seasons. I'm probably going to stop at season 2. If you want me to continue this, you must like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and comment down in the videos that you want me to continue What If Jay's Parents Never Gave Him Up for Adoption series. Please and thank you. Anyway, we do, like, I don't think season 2 would have that much change, but we do gotta talk about, like, now that the home's destroyed, where are they gonna live? Now, did I disown Jay from his father? I think I may have disowned him. I don't quite remember. Anyway, let's say that he's disowned from his father's side. Now he has no money, so he can't like go to his father and be like, oh, I need money, or I need a place to stay. And he's not gonna stay with his father from last time. He went to his father and, you know, he tried to hook him up for Emily. And he can't really stay at his mother because his mother's like always moving places, so never really has a place to stay. So that's out of it. And this could be a really cool concept of like Jay being kind of broke and realizing like how growing up with money is 100% different from not being actually broke. Because I feel like at first like he wouldn't understand what it's like, and it's gonna be like a very hard concept to wrap around his mind. Because I feel like when they get jobs, that's gonna be like so strange and foreign to Jay, because guess what, he always grew up with money. And yeah, I feel like he would complain a lot, but that would like morally out his character. And when they go to Jay's dojo, I feel like he would definitely say this is the most crappiest place, and like to say like, hey, the Destiny Bounty that we found in the middle of the desert looks 1,000 times better than that, and just bash Dare's dojo without even realizing like, hey, that stuff you said is completely rude. So like he would definitely have to grow out of that. And for the Stone Army, yeah, his mother would definitely like try to help when they first rise out of the earth, because like guess what, she saw the Stone Army, so she would definitely try to help the ninjas as best as she can. I don't think she would go to the Dark Island. I feel like she would stay in Ninjago just in case the Stone Army came back, or just wait for her son. And when the Overlord first appears, I feel like she would try to defeat the Overlord, but fail and turn into a zombie. And when Jay comes back and sees his mother as a zombie, I feel like he would definitely be terrified. But he's like, you know what, my mother would want me to stay strong. I was warned that this could definitely happen, so I can stay strong and try to defeat the Overlord. And you know how the saying goes, Lord defeats the Overlord, everyone turns back to the way it goes. The end. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you want a season 3 and the rest of the seasons, tell me in the comments, please.